Viv, have you seen the um the TikTok of the guy where he says that Gen Z people look older than millennials?
Yeah.
So y'all seen this, right?
Yes, come here. I am 26. This dude is so funny.
Apparently, Gen Z is like aging really rapidly.
It is mainly because of the stress. Come here. We live in a time nowadays where millennials look way younger for their age, while Gen Z looks way older for their age. If you don't believe me, I'm Gen Z. Get closer. I am Gen Z and nobody ever believes me. When my mom and I walk out in public, people think that my mom is my younger sister. Right. When I tell people, oh, I'm going to go hang out with my family, they think I'm talking about my children. I don't have kids. Right. I'm talking about my parents. I'm still the child. Does that make sense? I'll put it to you like this. Zendaya is older than me. Tom Holland is older than me. That's, you know what I'm saying right now? There was one time I wanted an autograph from Dwayne The Rock Johnson, right? I was standing for hours for this autograph, and when he walked up to me, I said, can you please sign this poster? It's for Jordan, right? He then took it and put, Dear Jordan,
like a
your
millennial.
dad is a great guy. He stood out here for hours and then gave it back to me. And before I can correct him, he looked at me and said, times were way more difficult back when we were kids, am I right? And then he tapped my shoulder and left. Dwayne is 52. I am 26. What I'm saying is, so Gen Z definitely looks older. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I thought he was a millennial at first too.
The one with the Rock, he says it was much easier when back in our day when the Rock tapped him, it was a lot easier back in our day. I was like, wow, that is rough. But
What do
anyway,
you,
continue.
no. What do you guys think about it?
I was like,
You
I
think it's
don't think
valid?
Gen Z gets stressed out. I feel like millennials always get stressed out. Like there's always like those generation jokes, and they always make the millennial like stressed out. Like those like corporate reels where they'll be like the millennials in a snuggie with coffee and always like just stressed out.
I will say this. I agree with you. I don't know about the Gen Z one, but I know they say millennials look a lot younger than the generation before them. And it's not even like nothing crazy, but they have pictures of people in Hollywood, basically for like when in the 80s or something, when they were in their 30s, and they look like our grandparents.
Wow.
Like they look old. I was like, wow. And they were like, oh, it's plastic surgery, blah, 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 blah. I mean, maybe, but at the same time, they're also mentioning that our generation doesn't smoke as much. Like we don't be smoking cigarettes
Vapes.
and vapes and stuff like that, while Gen Z smokes a lot of vapes.
Yeah.
And also, I'm guessing our lifestyle is more conducive to, like he said, less stress. Like we're more free spirited. Like millennials are super free spirited, so we don't take things as stressful. Like
I disagree with that.
I thought we were more stressed than Gen Z. Gen Z's kind of like, I don't care.
no. So I saw something the other day. So I was talking about you talk about like stress and anxiety and what causes it and stuff like that, and how social media is a direct cause of anxiety and stress. And because yes, we deal with social media a lot, but they were raised on social media.
Oh,
So
okay.
they're more stressed internally, but we might show it on the outside, but they're like stressed more internally.
Okay, since you mentioned that, okay, it made me think. Do you think it's the fact that our childhood we were not exposed to cell phones and social media, and we were able to go out and play more and like do other stuff and be more active in the world and not be like having more screen time? Maybe because I think that don't you say like screen time also ages you, right? Or like that type of radiation and stuff. I think I've heard that a lot
Yeah.
Something
or something like that. Right?
It's also do you think it's like pop culture because it's like social media, and then you worry about your image. So it's like now they're growing up in an age of like plastic surgery, fillers, Botox.
Yeah.
And it's like so many Gen Z people are like getting these preventative measures when it should ideally used to be for like people to age gracefully.
No, 100%. That's a prime example. If you think about when we were kids, you weren't comparing yourself to somebody in, I don't know, in Europe and Asia and stuff like that. You don't know those people. Like you just see celebs. You're like, oh, that person's a celebrity, whatever, right? You just compared yourself, whether you knew it or not, just to like your classmates. And if you were comparing yourself to the classmate, sure, there was that one person that was smarter than you, that one girl that might look better, the one guy that was taller, one guy that maybe got all the girls, one girl that got all the guys, vice versa. But you only were comparing yourself to like, oh, that person just has this one thing better than me. But, you know, I might be better at them than this, or so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But then now, because of social media, we talked about this in the past, but people are comparing themselves because social media blasts out extremes to you. It makes you feel like everyone looks this good, or everyone is this successful, or everyone's like this, like, and you don't feel like you're at that point. And that causes so much stress for, I think, younger generations. Like, I just saw, I know it's a joke, but there's like a lot of self-improvement people, and there's like these kids who are like 12 years old. He's like, 12 years old. I'm gonna make something of myself. I'm taking a cold shower every day, and they're doing all this extreme ass shit, and they're like 12.
Okay, I see what you mean. Cause like, I think that I don't know what your childhood was like, but like for me and my brother, I think like all the way up until like high school, or even actually in high school, go to school, come back, we play, go outside, play some sports, you know, ride some bikes, rollerblade. We were active. I in my opinion, I think that we were so much more active than Gen Z was growing up, because I wasn't even exposed to cell phones until when I was almost done in high school. So I never got screen time. I didn't started getting like regular screen time until basically college.
Yeah, I didn't have my first cell phone until like senior year.
And when did social media even come out for us? Like when did it start getting huge for us? It was like a big thing.
We had MySpace, but that was it.
Yeah.
It was like, our screen time for MySpace back then is like nothing compared to easy access on your phones now.
You may do a post one night, every night, but then like I will say I didn't even use Instagram. Like I didn't even like, someone had to convince me to get Instagram, because I was like, I don't want to be on that joint. And then that was back in 2013. 13, yeah. I didn't start using Instagram until 2013, so almost basically 10 years ago. And then I didn't really get into it until like 2014 when I moved up here. So that's like, I've only had like maybe like 10 years of like regular screen time, compared to Gen Z's probably like, they've been on the phones for their entire lives and stuff like that. And like you said, the comparison, stress about that stuff. Because I was not worried about that shit when I was growing up.
Yeah. And it's like, we also didn't have like filters and everything. And comparison.
When we were starting on social media, the filters were filters. Like you're like, oh,
it was like fun, like cartoon stuff.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I can tell this is a filter. And now people are like, is this a filter? Or is this like, this is extremely edited or something like that? So I definitely feel